community allies and supporters who are here today. We want to invite everybody to come and take a seat on the floor. Come a little, not too close, but come a little closer. If you're a person who likes to sit on the ground, come on, don't be shy. Only if you want to. So on Wednesday, first of all, just for those who are hungry, if you're like starting to feel a rumble in your stomach, you should know that pizza is on the way. We did have wraps one day. We like mixed up, the menu, but then we felt that pizza was tried and true and it shouldn't be messed with. So for those who are here on Wednesday, which was not a lot of people here, our very own GSOC member, Michael, gave an incredible roast of the Board of Trustees. And we felt there wasn't enough people who heard it, and also it was so good that we needed to do it all over again. I think some people agree, right? Let's give it up for Michael and a roast of the Board of Trustees, which is hilarious and educational.
You know what they say about the first rule of comedy? They say set expectations high. Set them very high. Make some noise for the MLK scholars, everyone. Make some noise for yourselves for being out here. And I want to hear a big, full-throated boo for the NYU Board of Trustees. That's right. I've been doing some research on the Board of Trustees because I am, a PhD student, and it compiled my two favorite things, which are going down research rabbit holes and feeling superior. All right? Now, Andy Hamilton is our boss. The Board of Trustees are Andy's boss, all right? The Board of Trustees are the people that email Andy's parents when they piss him off. Who are these people? Well, I did some research, folks. Here are my observations. Number one, extremely wealthy. Number two, mostly white men. Boo, that's right. Number three, love to sue each other. Love to sue each other. And number four, stunningly unattractive. Now, some of you might be saying, Michael, is it a good idea when you're talking about a group of billionaires with nearly unlimited resources and a penchant for frivolous litigation, is it a good idea to insult them publicly?
Yes!
Yeah, it is. Fuck them. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I love those emails that say we don't want this to descend into rancor and bitterness. Fuck you! I'm more of a rant comedian than a traditional roast comedian, but I do think a traditional roast would be kind of fun, like a Comedy Central, like Gilbert Gottfried out here, do some classic roast jokes. Andrew Hamilton goes into a doctor, and he says, "Doctor, I can't see." And the doctor says, "Have you tried getting your head out of your ass?" Those are not the kind of jokes I'm going to do today. Those are inappropriate. All right, who is the Board of Trustees? Who is this wretched coagulation of corporate scum and villainy? Folks, let's think about the Board of Trustees. Imagine if Davos, Mar-a-Lago, and Soho House all combined to form a super team of hoarded wealth and institutional racism, veiled by a thin smokescreen of enlightened capitalism and diversity initiatives. That is the NYU Board of Trustees. That's right. They are very good at money laundering. NYU Board of Trustees is something like reputation laundering, right? So that their name, when it comes up in a Google search, doesn't get attached to all of their lawsuits and scandals, but rather their, initiative or center, whatever fucking thing they pay money for. All right, so let's start with our first member, the chairman of the Board of Trustees. This is William Berkley, ladies and gentlemen. Big boo for William Berkley. William Berkley was actually born like this. He was born looking like a bloated corpse pulled out of the East River. For 16 years as a member of the NYU Board of Trustees, William Berkley served as the head of the first Marblehead Corporation, which offered private student loans at exorbitant rates. That is right. Whenever Berkley voted to raise NYU tuition, he was also putting money into his own pocket. When Berkley was a member of the board, NYU granted First Marblehead an exclusive deal to provide student loans to international students, all while spending millions of dollars to lobby Congress to make it harder for students to access federal student loans. If you were wondering why we have skyrocketing tuition costs, it is because of William Berkley. Big boo for William Berkley. This next guy, many of you may be familiar with. This is Larry Fink. Everyone knows Lawrence Fink? Lawrence Fink, he looks like Mitch McConnell, but without all the warmth and charisma. Lawrence Fink is the head of BlackRock, one of the world's largest investment firms. They manage $6 trillion, and if it sounds like a omniscient, soulless corporate enterprise that's run by Darth Vader, that's pretty much what it is. Larry talks a lot about being a socially responsible investor, so let's see what's in his portfolio. Number 1, private prisons. BlackRock is the second largest holder in GEO Group and Core Civic, America's largest prison provider. Number 2, fossil fuels. BlackRock is the second largest stakeholder in Exxon, Range Resources, Dominion Energy, Cloud Peak Energy, coal producers. Boo! And weapons. In the aftermath of the Parkland shootings, Fink said he would use his position as CEO to BlackRock to put pressure on gun manufacturers to make their products safer. It remains the largest holders of gun stocks in the country, including Sturm Ruger and American Outdoor brands. Not just domestically is this an issue, because it owns shares of military contractors and weapons manufacturers, including Lockheed Martin, Boeing, Raytheon, Northrop Grumman, which are used to kill civilians in Palestine, Yemen, Syria, everywhere where killing is happening. BlackRock is profiting off of it. They also own shares in General Dynamics, a contractor that works with the Department of Homeland Security to militarize America's borders and manage child detention facilities. Fuck you, Larry. Next up, Stephen M. Cohen. Stephen Cohen is the only member of the Board of Trustees to have a black and white photo on his page, which is fitting because he is the type of person who would be the villain in a noir-era gangster film. Cohen is an aide and ally to a noir-era gangster that we all know, Governor Andrew Cuomo. Every shitty thing Cuomo has done, Stephen M. Cohen has been involved with. Recently, he attempted to cover up and downplay the governor's role in sending elderly COVID-19 patients back to nursing homes where they spread the virus to other patients. And he was among the aides that tried to privately squash a former staffer's allegations of sexual misconduct against Cuomo and to publicly discredit the accuser. Shame on you! Number 4, Mark Bell. Mark Bell, if you take a look at him, Mark Bell looks like a kid in school who accidentally called the teacher mommy. Mark Bell, okay, so I'll say this. Mark Bell is actually not the sketchiest member of the board, but he basically is the answer to the question, like, what if you gave $1 billion to like a 15-year-old who was a jackass? You will love this collection of companies. He's an entrepreneur, investor. His companies combine, quote, niche social networking with branded erotic entertainment. Mark Bell owned the social networking site Friend Finder, the Christian dating site BigChurch.com, as well as Adult Friend Finder, Penthouse Magazine, and a range of porn sites, including FacebookOfSex.com, and at one point tried to buy Playboy. What did Mark Bell use all this money for? He used it to build a $30 million mansion in Boca Raton, Florida, which contains a full-scale replica of the bridge of the Starship Enterprise. And this fucking jackass doesn't think we deserve $32 an hour? Fuck you! Number 5. Number 5, he's in there somewhere. I want to explain that I had to print these on double sides because the Board of Trustees doesn't give us a big enough printing allowance. Is it too late? BC, can we add that to the demands? Do we? Too late? This is number 5. This is number 5, Boris Jordan, the only member of the Board of Trustees whose official picture already looks like a mugshot. Hey, Boris, we're going to do the official portrait for the board today. You want to, I don't know, shave, put a tie on, do something? You look like a wax dummy of Steve Bannon. Come on, man. Boris Jordan made his fortune in post-Soviet Russia, part of a crew of Westerners who helped to carve and privatize the assets of the old Soviet Union. He pissed off a lot of creditors, business partners, and Russian government officials while doing so. One Russian politician described him as a cheating businessman who would sell you your own boots at 3 times the price. Today, Jordan is the owner of Curaleaf, a $2 billion cannabis company that looks to reap enormous profits as marijuana becomes legalized across the country. All of this while thousands of poor and working class people remain in jail for selling and possessing marijuana. I don't know if marijuana and capitalism go together, but I do know that one time in college I was supposed to read Adam Smith's On the Wealth of Nations, but instead I got high and thought about how cool it would be to have an invisible hand. So I say to Jordan and all the marijuana billionaires, quit bogarting the wealth! Yeah, there we go. Okay, next is probably the biggest scumbag on here. We'll get him in a sec. Number 6. Yeah, John Paulson. John Paulson looks like a guy whose number 1 hobby is telling women to smile more. John Paulson, you may have heard of him, became famous during the 2008 financial crisis, created packages of financial securities based on subprime mortgages that were doomed to fail, sold them, insured them. Basically, when they collapsed, he made $20 billion while the rest of us were suffering. Boo! That's right. He then took that fortune, and amid the Puerto Rican debt crisis, he led a group of Wall Street vultures who began to take advantage of the territory's lenient tax laws to buy up beachfront property to build luxury hotels. Right. Became an early supporter of Donald Trump. In 2017, he dipped his toes into the culture wars. He sent a letter to his daughter's school, the elite Spence School in Manhattan. He complained that their curriculum consisted of anti-white indoctrination. Which begs the question, how do I get a job there? This letter he gave his philosophy. He said, the advantages enjoyed by most individuals from middle or upper income backgrounds today are the result of stable family backgrounds, high education levels, hard work, and personality, not because of their race. That's right, poor and working class people. John Paulson wants you to know that you too could succeed if you weren't so stupid and lazy. That's right. And of course, very predictably, he is an enormous Trump fundraiser, was on Trump's economic team, ran a $500,000 per person fundraiser for Donald Trump's re-election in the Hamptons. Big boo for John Paulson, everybody. All right. Number 7. Number 7, we have Leonard Wilf. Leonard Wilf looks like a guy who still uses the term Orientals. Leonard Wilf owns the fucking Minnesota Vikings. All right, a lot of Packers fans here, I can see. That's right, fuck all of them, fuck the NFL. Leonard Wilf is the heir to Garden Homes, which built Garden City in Long Island, a suburban development which for 20 years has repeatedly been sued for violating the Fair Housing Act and discriminating against black tenants. Notorious for cheating his business partners, a judge in a recent lawsuit declared that he, quote, robbed his partners that had worked with him to build an apartment complex and acted with bad faith and evil motive. This is a judge who said this. They ordered to pay his partners $100 million. So next, number 8, I want to show a picture of this fucking stadium they built. When Wilf and the Vikings ownership group wanted to build a new stadium at a cost of nearly $1 billion, Wilf spent 7 years bribing Minnesota politicians until the state finally agreed to spend $500 million of taxpayer money to build this insane military-industrial complex version of Pride Rock. All right, number 9. Number 9 is Andrea Bonomi. Andrea Bonomi! Andrea Bonomi is a Vietnamese sandwich. of meat, pickled vegetables served on French bread. Okay, all right. Who wrote that joke? Who wrote that? That was terrible. Andrea Bonomi. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. Let's skip to Maria Bartoromo. This is sad. Everyone knows Maria Bartoromo, right?
No.
Well, we'll know her now. This is sad, folks, because Maria Bartoromo had potential to be cool. She had potential to be cool. In the late 90s, Maria Bartoromo was a financial reporter for CNBC. She was one of the first women to report on financial news from Wall Street. It was at this point that she struck up an unlikely friendship with Joey Ramone of the Ramones, who obsessively watched CNBC and would email her at all hours of the night asking for stock tips. In 2002, you can look this up, Joey Ramone released a rock song called Maria Bartoromo, which is all about him being horny watching Maria Bartoromo on CNBC. Potential, there was potential to be cool. In 2013, she moved to Fox Business, where she has slowly drifted into the death spiral of the right wing. She is on live television 16 hours a week, spewing conspiracy theories about the Clintons and the Bidens, and shamelessly spreading propaganda about election fraud. In the aftermath of the 2020 election, she gave a softball interview to Trump in the White House, allowing him to spread conspiracy theories. The result of all of this has been a rise of her stock at Fox, where she now hosts a 3-hour morning show 5 days a week, in addition to a Sunday show. Shame on Maria Bartoromo. All of these people. Their time has come. We are here fighting for a more democratic university where the voices of workers and students matter more than these decrepit billionaires. That is why we are here fighting for a contract. What do we want?
Contract.
When do we want it?
Now.
If we don't get it, if we don't get it, if we don't get it,
shut it down.
Thank you, everybody.